So today I have something for you that I had hoped I could avoid posting, but I don't get the impression that is the timeline that we're in. I'm gonna have to reveal what I know, and I'm gonna have to pray for the best. I'm gonna have to pray that it reaches who it needs to reach for us to deal with this problem. To begin with, my first story for you involving the Greys takes place when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My parents had gotten me a new bed, and I was having some trouble sleeping in it. And I opened my eyes, and I felt like something watching me, maybe a little bit before that. Like it felt like something was wrong. Something was off. And when I opened my eyes, I found a gray alien staring at me from the threshold in my room. I usually slept with my door open because there was a time where I shared my room with my brother, and he would come into bed after I went to bed, and that would just be the way it went. It was just the norm. I never have felt comfortable in a room with an open door since that. Not much really happened. I just kind of went into a moment of absolute panic. I want to say it was the most afraid I've ever been in my entire life. Mind you, I'm 5 or 6 years old. And I'm panicking, trying to figure out what's going on here. What is this thing? And my mind goes to the thought, well, it has to be a demon. What else could it be? And my little 5 or 6 year old mind thought of demons as like things from Doom. I used to watch my brother play Doom on the Super Nintendo, and I was always too scared to play it myself, but that was what my mind as a child thought of demons. So this gray formed into a pixelated imp from Doom, and I don't know what happens after that. I think I just tried to pretend like it wasn't happening, or I blacked out. I really don't know. That's where that experience ends. My next experience takes place a little later. I'm an adult for this one. It's 2012, and I am browsing 4chan's paranormal board. And I find, as I am getting into meditation, a group meditation planned for the transit of Venus. And I think, sure, why not? What's the worst that could happen? So I go through with it, I follow the instructions, and it was one of the first times I had ever felt like very, very different. Like there was a very noticeable difference afterwards. Like it was a conscious difference that like would have been undeniable to anyone that experienced it. And the next thing I know, I'm outside and I am gazing into my field. And what I see confused me. I saw what I had thought were 5 or 6 children playing with some manner of toy. Now, there were these, like, they look maybe like 4.5 feet tall, kinda, something like that, with these weird red orbs. Now, imagine a glow stick that's spherical, and, like, in the center, it's very bright, but there's only, like, a dull light that goes out maybe a couple feet from it. Like, it doesn't really produce a whole lot of light, but it gives you just enough that you can kinda see what's there. And that's what confronts me as I am gazing into this field. I don't even know why I'm outside. It felt like I was compelled, like something forced me to do it, like outside of my will. And I noticed they're coming towards me. And it's just like there's a scene missing. And I notice that they are like halfway between my house and the field. Like they have closed half the distance between us. And it's just like there's a scene missing. It's like you're watching a film and somebody just cut a scene out and it's on the next one. And as they're closer, I can see a little bit better on the details from their orbs. And I notice their arms are just a little too long. And that's when I realized that they're not human. Immediately, someone I was living with yells at me to come inside. For some reason, it didn't seem important that there were 5 or 6 beings from God only knows where invading our property. That didn't seem important. So I came in and I went right to bed. I've had insomnia my whole life. That's never happened. I don't fall asleep very easily like that. And the next day I asked them about it because I thought it was weird. And they look at me like I'm nuts and say, I never told you to come inside last night. What in the world are you talking about? And the final story I have for you, it's going to be the condensed blue-balled version. I'm not going to give you all of the nice details because I was taught not to cast pearls before swine. Suffice to say, it's the kind of experience that ancient mystical orders were all about. It is what effectively created the concept called occultism. But I digress. One night, I had a mystical experience where I found myself somewhere else entirely. It showed me how energy flows through the universe, from God all the way down to us. Now, somewhere in the middle of this experience, I completely blacked out. Like, I just completely lost consciousness. And a couple hours later, I wake up in bed, and I have the distinct feeling that I had done something very naughty, and that a gray alien had to bring me back. I don't remember any conversation, I just remember that was the last time they ever had any kind of control over me, and I haven't really had anything to fear from them since that time. There are other experiences that happened following this. It's actually the first part of a 3-part experience, but that will not be told today either for the same reason. It's just not the right time. Modern people are too mind-controlled by these beings for me to just reveal everything at once. But I will tell you this much. If you want to hear more, if you want to know the truth, if you want to be redeemed, you're gonna have to get this shit out there. Because I'm not gonna do it. It goes against my beliefs to do any more than I already am. My job is to speak the truth. I'm here to make sure that in your darkest hour, the message of Christ is available to you. It's something I was asked to do 2,000 years ago by a very, very good friend that I miss dearly. And I intend to do that. But there are limits to what I can reveal and when I can reveal it. So it's gonna be on to you. Prove to me, prove to God, that you are worth it, that there is something in you that deserves the good ending, because you are on the path to damnation right now, and I can't change that. Only you can, okay? You have to save yourself. You have to love thy neighbor, and you have to abandon the concept of money. The devil gave it to you so that you would burn down paradise. It is completely made up and meaningless. It has completely convinced you that the point of life is to slave away for the Epstein class. Not to love one another or to enjoy the gifts that God has bestowed upon us. You have a choice to make, mankind, and I can't make it for you. You have to decide. Do you want to live in a world of freedom and joy, or a world of enslavement and misery? That is the choice before you, mankind, and that will always be the choice before you. No matter what anyone tells you or whatever you discover, you will always have to choose between God and Satan, loving thy neighbor and loving thyself.